Betty be hearty soon.
Here.
My Betty not going to die.
Out of my sight. Out of my sight. Oh my God. God help me. Betty. Child. Dear child. Will you open up your eyes, Betty? Little one.
Uncle, Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Griggs.
Let her come, let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
He bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Aye, sir, he have been searching his books since he left you, sir, but he bid me tell you that you might look to unnatural things for the cause.
No. There'll be no unnatural cause here. Tell him I sent for Reverend Hale of Beverley, and Mr. Hale will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine and put out all thought of unnatural causes. There be none.
Aye, sir, he bid me tell you.
Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir, I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumour of witchcraft is all about. I think you best go down and deny it yourself. The parlour is packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and my niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest.
We did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it and I'll be whipped if I must be, but they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before my congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. And when you leapt out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened, and then she fainted, and there is the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Look, you child. Your punishment will come in its time. But if you trafficked with spirits in the forest, I must know it now, for surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
We never conjured spirits.
Then why can she not move herself since midnight? This child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Let me know what you've done there. Abigail! Do you understand that I have many enemies?
I have heard of it, Uncle.
There is a faction that is sworn to drive me from my pulpit. You understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now then, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
It was sport, Uncle.
You call this sport? Abigail, if you know something that may help the doctor, for God's sake, tell it to me. I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I heard a screeching and a gibberish coming from her mouth. She was swaying like a dumb beast over that fire.
She always sings her Barbados songs and we dance.
Abigail, I cannot blink what I saw, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress lying on the grass.
A dress?
Aye, a dress. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now tell me true, Abigail, and I pray you. Feel the weight of truth upon you, for now my ministry is at stake. My ministry, and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you've done, give me all of it now, for I dare not be taken unawares when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I fought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me, and now, just now, when some good respect is rising for me in the parish, you compromise my very character. I've given you a home, child. I've put clothes upon your back. Now, give me a bright answer. Your name in the town. It is entirely white, is it not?
I am sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
Is there any other cause than you have told me for your being discharged from Goody Proctor's service? I've heard it said, and I tell you as I heard it, she comes so rarely to church this year, for she will not sit so close to something soiled. What signified that remark?
She hates me, Uncle. She must, for I would not be her slave. It's a bitter woman. A lying, cold, sniveling woman. And I will not work for such a woman.
She may be, and yet it has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their house, and in all this time no other family has ever called for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I'll not black my face for any of them. Do you begrudge my bed, Uncle?
No.
My name is good in the village. I'll not have it said my name is soiled. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar.
No, I cannot. Oh. Why, Goody Putnam, come in.
It is a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, it's sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn and come down light as bird, he says.
Now, look you, Goody Putnam, she... good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's out?
Why, her eyes is closed. Look you at.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your Ruth is sick.
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death, driving into them forked and hooved.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does Ruth ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open, and she walks, and hears naught, sees naught, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you sent for Reverend Hale of Beverley.
A precaution only. They say he has much experience in all demonic arts.
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverley last year, and let you remember that.
Look, you Goody Ann, they only thought that were a witch, and I'm certain there'll be no element of witchcraft here.
Witchcraft, now look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you leap not to witchcraft. I know that you least of all, Thomas, would ever wish so disastrous a charge laid on me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such corruption in my house.
Mr. Paris, I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children.
But Thomas, you cannot say...
Anne, tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. Believe me, sir, you never saw more hearty babies born, and yet each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoke nothing, but my heart has clamoured intimations. And now this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels like a sucking mouth were pulling on her life too. And so I thought to send her to your Tituba.
To Tituba? What may
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr.
Goody
Paris.
Ann, it is a formidable sin to conjure the dead.
I take it on my soul. But who else will surely tell us what person murdered my babies? They were murdered, Mr. Paris. And mark this proof. Mark it. Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now? Except some power of darkness would stop her mouth. It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
And you were conjuring spirits last night?
Not I, sir. Tituba and Ruth.
Oh, Abigail. What proper payment for my charity now I'm undone?
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house, Thomas. They will ruin me with this. They'll make a...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
There's a sign of life.
I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like it will shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down?
No, I've no answer for that crowd. I'll wait till Mr. Hale arrives, if you will, Goody Ann.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Come down. Speak to them. Pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I'll lead them in a psalm. But let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I've had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth, do you hear? Aye, Mum.
If she starts for the window, cry for me at once.
I will, Uncle.
There's a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick? It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night. Betty, now stop this. Betty, sit up now. Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and it waked her for a minute. Here, let me up. They'll be coming up. Listen now. If they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told him as much already. And what more? He knows Tituba conjured Ruth's sisters to come out of the grave. What more? He saw you! Naked. Oh, Jesus!
What will we do? The village is out. I've just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They be calling us witches, Abby!
She means to tell. I know it,
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby! You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Oh, we'll be whipped.
I never done none of it. Abby, I only look.
Oh, and you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren? What a grand peeping courage you have. Betty, wake up now.
It's Abigail.
I'll beat you, Betty. My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa. I told him everything. So there's nothing to...
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mama's dead and buried.
I'll fly to mama.
Let me fly! Everything!
He knows now. He knows you drank blood, Abby. You didn't tell him that.
You never say that again! You never say that again!
You did. You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor.
Stop it! Not stop it! Look, you. All of you. We danced. And Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters, and that is all. And mark this. Let any of you breathe a word, or the edge of a word, about the other things, I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine. I've seen some reddish work done at night. And I can make you wish you'd never seen the sun go down. Now, you set up! Stop this!
Oh, what's got her? home, Mr. Proctor.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why should I pay you? I'm looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd best be off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor. I almost forgot how strong you are, John Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
She's only gone silly somehow.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, hush! We were dancing in the woods last night. My uncle leapt in on us. She took fright, is all.
Ah, you're wicked yet, aren't you? You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No. No, Abby, that's done with.
You come 5 mile to see a silly girl fly. I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John! I'm waiting for you every night.
Abby, I never give you hope to wait for me.
I have something better than hope, I think.
Abby, you will put it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back. Behind your house. And sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. Or did I dream that? She put me out. You cannot pretend it were you. I saw your face when she put me out. You loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing, they say, wild things. But not so wild, I think. I've seen you since she put me out. I've seen you nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 months.
I have a sense for heat, John. Yours has drawn me to my window. I've seen you looking up, burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
I may have looked up.
And you must. You are no wintry man. I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake and walk about the house as though I'd find you coming through some door.
Child.
How do you call me, child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind. We never touched.
Aye, but we did.
But we did not.
I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife.
You speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman. You bend to her. Let her turn
Do you look for a weapon?
I look for John Proctor! Took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew the pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their covenanted men. Now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor. Whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me then, John. Please, John. Pity me, John. Please.
What is it? What is it, sir? Stop that wailing.
What's happened? What have you done to us? Betty!
Singing and suddenly she's up and screaming. The psalm. The psalm. She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
God forbid! Mercy, run to the doctor. Tell him what's happened.
Mark it for a sign. Mark it.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot. Goody nurse, a prodigious sign.
My mother told me that when they cannot bear to hear the name of the Lord.
Rebecca, go to her. We're lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
There is hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please to keep the quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I hear she flies.
Quiet now.
What have you done?
What do you make of it, Rebecca?
Goody nurse, will you go to my Ruth and see if you can wake her?
I think she'll wake in time. Pray, calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I am 26 times a grandma. And I've seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it come on them, they'll run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still, and for love, it will soon itself come back.
Aye. That's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered, Rebecca. She cannot eat.
Perhaps she is not hungered yet. I hope you're not decided to go in search of loose spirits, Mr. Paris. I heard promise of that outside.
Wide opinions running in the parish that the devil may be among us. I would satisfy them that they're wrong.
They'll let you come out and call them wrong. Did you consult the wardens before you called this minister to look for devils?
He's not coming to look for devils.
Then what's he coming for?
There be children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying. This society will not be a bag to swing about your head, Mr. Putnam. Did you call a meeting before you called this?
I am sick of meetings. Cannot the man turn his head without he have a meeting?
He may turn his head, but not to hell.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think you'd best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. This will set us all to arguing again in the society, and we hope to have peace this year. I think we ought to rely on the doctor now, and on good prayer.
Rebecca, the doctor's baffled.
If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is prodigious danger in seeking after loose spirits. I fear it. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons. The Putnam seed have peopled this province, yet I have but one child left of 8, and now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that.
But I must. You think it God's work you should never lose a child, nor grandchild either, and I bury all but one. There are wheels within wheels in this village, and fires within fires.
When Reverend Hale comes, you will proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command Mr. Paris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage.
I never heard you so worried on this society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you at Sabbath meeting since snow flew.
I have trouble enough with that. I come 5 mile to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. Take it to heart, Mr. Paris. There are many others who stay away from church these days because you hardly ever mention God anymore.
Why, that's a drastic charge.
It is somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations towards this ministry.
Are there really those unmindful?
I should say the better half of Salem village.
And more than that.
Where's my wood? My contract provides that I be supplied with all my firewood. I'm waiting since November for a stick. And even in November, I had to show my frostbitten hands like some London beggar.
You are allowed £6 a year to buy your wood, Mr.
I
Paris.
regard that £6 as part of my salary. I'm paid little enough for that. I spend £6 on firewood.
60 plus 6 for
The
firewood.
salary's £66, Mr. Proctor. I'm not some preaching farmer with a book under my arm. I'm a graduate of Harvard College.
Aye, and well instructed in arithmetic.
Mr. Corey, you look far for a man of my kind at £60 a year. I'm not used to this poverty. I left a thrifty business in the Barbados to serve the Lord. I do not fathom it. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer one proposition, but there be a howling riot of argument. I've often wondered if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you are the first minister ever to demand the deeds to this house.
Don't a minister deserve a house to live in?
To live in, yes. But to ask ownership is like you shall own the meeting house itself. The last meeting I was at, you spoke so long on deeds and mortgages, I thought it were an auction.
I'm on a mark of confidence is all. I'm your third preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like the cat whenever some majority feels the whim. You people, you seem not to understand that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. A minister's not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted.
Aye.
There is either obedience or the church will burn, like hell is burning.
Can you speak for 1 minute without we land in hell again? I am sick of hell.
It's not for you to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
Oh, what? Are we Quakers? We're not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor. And you may tell that to your followers.
My followers?
There's a party in this church. I'm not blind. There's a faction and a party.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Why, then I must find it and join it.
Oh!
He does not mean that.
He confessed it now.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority.
No, you cannot break charity with your minister. You are another kind, John. Clasp his hand, make your peace.
I have a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Shall we find the party? He says there's a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man, John. Mr. Parris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Thank you, Giles.
It suggests to the mind what the trouble be among us all these years. Think on it. Wherefore is everybody suing everybody else? Think on it now. It's a deep thing, dark as a pit. I have been 6 times in court this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? What? You're old, Giles. You're not hearing so well as you did.
John Proctor, I have only last month collected £4 damages for you publicly saying I burned the roof off your house.
I never said no such thing, but I paid you for it, so I hope I may call you deaf without charge. Now, come along, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home.
A moment! Mr. Proctor! What lumber is that you're dragging, if I may ask you?
My lumber. From out my forest by the riverside.
But we are surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds. It's in my bounds, Mr. Proctor.
In your bounds? I bought that tract off Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that all the land between the river and the
Well,
forest...
your grandfather had a habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
Aye, that's God's truth. He almost willed away my north pasture. But he knew I'd break his fingers before he set his name to it. Let's get your lumber home, John. I feel a sudden will to work coming on.
You load one oak of mine, and you'll fight to drag it home!
Aye, and we'll win too, Putnam, this fool and I. Come on, John.
And if I'm better than you, Corey, I'll clap a writ on you!
Pray you someone take these.
Oh, Mr. Hale, it's good to see you again. My, they're heavy.
They must be. They are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It is strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We've all heard of your great charities in Beverley.
Do you know this gentleman, Mr. Thomas Putnam, and his good wife Anne?
Putnam, I had not expected such distinguished company. Sir.
Does not seem to help us today, Mr. Hale. We look to you to come to our house to save our child.
Your child ails too.
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps and yet she walks.
She cannot eat.
Cannot eat. Do you men have afflicted children?
No. These are farmers. John Proctor.
He don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles?
No, I think not, John. I have some few queer questions of my own to ask this fella.
I've heard you to be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you'll leave some of it in Salem.
Will you look at my daughter, sir? She's tried to leap out the window. We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly.
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That's a sure sign of witchcraft afloat.
No. Let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me if I should find no bruise of hell upon her.
It is agreed. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were your first warning of this strangeness?
Why, sir, I discovered her and my niece and 10 or 12 of the other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, it was secret.
Mr. Paris's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
We cannot be sure of that, Goody Anne.
I know it, sir. I sent my child. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters.
Goody Anne, you sent a child to conjure up the dead.
Let God blame me, not you. Not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me anymore. Is it a natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
Shh. 7 dead in childbirth.
What book is that?
What's there, sir?
Here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books, the devil stands stripped of all his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi and succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Have no fear now. We shall find him out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I am too old for this.
Why, Rebecca, we may open up the boil of all our troubles today.
Let us hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come, Mr. Hale, let's get on. Sit you here.
Mr. Hale, I've always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell, she hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. I've waked at night many a time and found her in a corner reading of a book. What do you make of that now?
Well, it's not necessarily...
No, it discomforts me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayers. And then she closed the book and walked out of the house. And suddenly, mark this, I could pray again.
Ah, the stoppage of prayer. That is strange. I'll speak further on that with you.
I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I'd admire to know what books she reads and why she hides them. She'll not answer me, you see.
Aye, we'll discuss it. Now, mark me. If the devil is in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room, so please to keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I'm John Hale, Minister of Beverley. I'm here to help you, dear. Do you remember my two little girls in Beverley?
How can it be the devil? Why would he choose my house to strike? We have all manner of licentious people in the village.
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already bad? It is the best the devil wants, and who is better than the minister?
That's deep, Mr. Parris. Deep, deep.
Betty, answer Mr. Hale. Betty.
Does someone afflict your child? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird invisible to others comes to you. Perhaps a pig, or a mouse, or any beast at all. Is there some figure bids you fly? In nomine Domini Sabaoth, sui felice ite ad infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say, sir, I saw a kettle in the grass where
That
they were
were only
dancing.
soup.
What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think.
Mr. Parris, you did not notice, did you, any living thing in the kettle? A mouse, perhaps, a spider, a frog?
I do believe there was some movement in
That
the
jumped
soup.
in. We never put it in.
What jumped in?
A very little frog jumped in.
A frog, Abby!
Abigail, it may be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba! Tituba!
I should like to speak with Tituba.
Goody Ann, will you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not she spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A trembling below the ground?
I didn't see no devil, Betty. Wake up, Betty!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
Never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink it?
She tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I'm a proper girl. She made me do it. She made Betty do it. She makes me drink blood.
Blood?
My baby's blood. No, chicken blood. I guess it's chicken blood.
Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil?
No, sir. I don't truck with no devil.
Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
I love me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit out upon this child, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sends her spirit on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
She've often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood. You beg me to conjure. She beg me make Don't lie. She comes to me while I sleep. She's always making me dream corruption.
Why you say that, Abby?
Sometimes I wake and find myself standing in the open doorway and not a stitch on my body. I hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados songs and tempting.
Mr. Reverend, I never...
Tituba, I want you to wake this child.
I have no power upon this child, sir.
You most certainly do, and you will free her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't compact
pact with no devil.
You won't confess, or I will take you out and whip you to your death, Tituba.
This woman must be hanged! She must be taken and hanged!
No, don't hang Tituba. I tell him I don't desire to work for him, sir.
The devil!
Then you saw him now, Tituba. I know, when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break with it. We are going to help you tear yourself free.
Mr. Reverend, I do believe somebody else bewitching these children.
Who?
I don't know, sir, but the devil got him numerous witches.
Does he? Tituba, look into my eyes. Come, look into me! You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba?
I, sir, a good Christian woman.
And you love these little children.
Oh, yes, sir, I don't desire to hurt little children.
And you love God, Tituba.
I love God with all my being.
Now in God's holy name.
Bless him, bless him.
And to his glory.
Eternal glory, bless him, bless God.
Open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you.
Oh, bless the Lord.
When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Perhaps another person in the village, someone you know?
Who came with him?
Sarah Good! Did you ever see Sarah Good with him? Her husband?
Was it man or woman came with him?
Man or woman, Mrs. Woman.
What woman, a woman? You say what woman?
It was black dog.
You can see him. Why could you not see her?
When they were always talking, they were always running around and carrying
You
on.
mean out of Salem? Salem witches?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Tituba, you must have no fear to tell us who they are. Do you understand? We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a minister. You know that, do you not?
I do.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side, and we will bless you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hale.
You are God's instrument put in our hands to help us discover the devil's agents among us. You are selected, Tituba. You are chosen to help us cleanse our village. So speak utterly, Tituba. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God, Tituba, and God will protect you.
Oh, God protect Tituba.
Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4. How many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who? Their names, their names.
Know how many times he bid me kill you, Mr. Paris.
Kill me.
He said, Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris no goodly man. Mr. Paris mean man and no gentleman. And he bid me rise out of my bed and cut your throat. But I tell him, no, I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But he said, you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you a pretty dress to wear and put you way high up in the air, and you go flying back to Barbados. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then he come one stormy night to me and he said, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look, and there was Goody God.
Sarah, good.
I said, Goody Osborne.
I knew it! Goody Osborne were midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged him not to call Osborne because I feared her. My baby's always shriveled in her hands.
Take courage. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see this child suffering? Look at her, Tituba. Look at her God-given innocence. Her soul is so tender. We must protect her, Tituba. The devil is out and preying on her like a beast on the flesh of the pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. And I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. And I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Howe with the devil.
She speaks. She speaks.
Glory to God. It is broken, they are free.
I saw Martha Bellows with the devil. I saw Goody Sibber with the devil.
The marshal! I'll call the marshal!
I saw Alice Barrow with the devil.
Let the marshal bring irons.
I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil.
I saw Goody Bibble with the devil.
I saw Goody Booth with the devil.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
Oh, planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then?
Aye. The farmer's seat. The boy's asleep.
There will be, soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No. She walked into the house this afternoon. I found her, sitting in the corner like she'd come to visit.
Oh, that's a good sign. Walking in.
Pray God. It hurt my heart to strip her. Poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender.
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon. It's warm as blood beneath the clods.
Well, that's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean, to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider. This farm is a continent when you go foot by foot, dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
You want to bring some flowers into the house?
I forgot. I will, tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. On Sunday, let you come with me. And we'll walk the farm together. I've never seen such a load of flowers on the earth. Lilacs have a purple smell. Lilac is the smell of nightfall, I think. Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
Aye. It is.
I think you're sad. Again. Are you?
You come so late, I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I've thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why do you let her? You heard me forbid her to go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault. It is a fault, Elizabeth. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
How may that mouse frighten you, Elizabeth? You!
It is a mouse, no more. I forbid her go. And she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye. It is a proper court they have now. They've sent 4 judges out of Boston, she says, weighty magistrates of the General Court. And at the head sits the Deputy Governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I would to God she were. There be 14 people in the jail now, she says. And they'll be tried. And the court have power to hang them too, she says.
Oh, they'd never hang.
The Deputy Governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. She speak of Abigail, and I thought she were a saint to hear her. Abigail brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them, and if they scream and howl and fall to the floor, the person's clapped in the jail for bewitching them.
Oh, it is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it is a fraud.
Aye, it is. It is, surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well. And tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did. She did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye. They must. They must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I will go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good. Then, let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl is a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud, and the town gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her.
For a moment alone, I.
Why? Then it is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Well, do as you wish, then.
Woman! I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have no
I'll not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet.
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
No,
I
not
see
you.
what I see, John.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you go to judge your husband anymore. I have forgot Abigail.
And
spare me. You forget nothing and you forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months since she is gone. I have not moved from there to there without, I think, to please you. And still an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted. Every moment judged for lies, as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
John, you are not open with me. You saw her with a crowd, you said. Now you tell me.
I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am.
No more! I should have roared you down when first you told me your suspicion. But I wilted. And like a Christian, I confessed. Confessed. Some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day. But you're not. You're not. And let you remember it. Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I will whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I am sick. I am sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I'm in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what of these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house, as you are paid £9 a year to do, and my wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit for long hours in a chair and I passed the time with sewing.
Why? Thank you. It's a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye. Indeed, we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
Oh no, sir. There'll be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang. Hang, you say?
Aye.
The Deputy Governor will permit it.
He sentenced her, he must. But not Sarah Good, for Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confessed to what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God is thrown down and we all must worship hell forevermore.
But surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she near choked us all to death.
How? Choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Oh, Mary, surely.
She tried to kill me so many times, Goody Proctor.
Why, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman. For she sleep in ditches and is so very old and poor, but then she sit there denying and denying, and I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back. And the skin on my skull began to creep. I felt a clamp around my neck and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it was my voice. And all at once I remembered everything she'd done to me.
What? What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she would come to this very door begging bread and a cup of cider and mark this. Whenever I turned her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumble? Well, she may mumble if she's hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor, last month, a Monday, I think she walked away and I thought my guts were going to burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I do, I think.
And so I told that to Judge Haythorne. And he asks her, so, Goody Osborne, he says, what curse do you mumble that this girl must fall sick after turning you away? And she replies, why, Your Excellence, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Haythorne say, recite for us your commandments. And out of all of the 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments and they had it in a flat lie.
So condemned her.
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
The proof. The
So
proof.
I've told you the proof. It is hard proof. Hard as a rock, the judges said.
You will not go to court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I will be gone every day now. I am amazed. You do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do. It is strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But Mr. Proctor, they will not hang them if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail sometime. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
Dr. Griggs examined it and she's full to the brim. After smoking a pipe all these years, and no husband either. But was she safe? Thank God, for they will not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel, sir, you must see it. It is God's work we do. So I will be gone every day for some time, for I am an official of the court, they say.
Official you.
I will not stand with me no more.
Let me promise now you'll stay at home.
The devil is loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor.
Oh, where's the devil out of you?
Saved her life today.
I am accused.
Somewhat mentioned. But I said I never seen no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing as I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law, I cannot tell it. I only hope you'll not be so sarcastical no more. 4 judges in the King's deputy sat to dinner with us but an hour ago, and I would have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I will not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up then? Sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night then.
Good night.
Oh. The noose. The noose is up.
There'll be no noose.
She wants me dead. I knew all week it will come to
They
this.
dismissed it. You heard her say.
What of tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me.
Sit down.
She wants me dead, John, you know.
I say sit down. Now, we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I will tell him she said it were all sport.
John, we saw many in the jail. More than Cheever's help is needed now, I think. Would you favour me with this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There is a promise made in any bed,
What promise?
spoke or silent, a promise is surely made, and she may dote on it now. I am sure she does, and thinks to kill me than to take my place. It is her dearest hope, John. I know it. There be 1,000 names. Why does she call mine? There be a certain danger in calling such a name. I am no goody-good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne, drunk and half-witted. She dare not call out such a farmer's wife, but there be monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
Oh, I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you, Elizabeth? What see you?
I think you be somewhat ashamed, for I am there, and she so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I stone, I would have cracked for shame this 7 months.
Then go and tell her she's a whore. Whatever promise she may sense, break it, John. Break it.
Good. Then I will go.
Well, how unwillingly.
I will curse her hotter than the oldest cinder in hell. But pray begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only ask you.
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise? The promise that a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger with me when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit, and I am honest. But I will plead no more. I see now your spirit twist around the single error of my life, and I will never tear it free.
Oh, you'll tear it free when you come to know that I will be your only wife, or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Good evening.
Why, Mr. Hale. Good evening to you, sir. Come in. Come in.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, it's only that I heard no horse.
You a good wife, Proctor?
I, Elizabeth.
I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No, no. We are not used to visitors after dark, but you are welcome here. Will you sit you down, sir?
I will. Let you sit, good wife, Proctor.
Will you drink cider, Mr. Hale?
No, it rebels my stomach. I have some further travelling yet tonight. Sit you down, sir. I'll not keep you long, but I have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No. I come of my own without the court's authority. Hear me. I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us. We are entirely amazed.
I'm a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance, I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of them that come accused before the court. And so this afternoon and now, tonight, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house.
Rebecca's charged?
God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhat.
You will never believe, I hope, that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so.
These are strange times, mister. No man may longer doubt the powers of the dark are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to deny it. You will agree, sir?
I have no knowledge in that line. But it is hard to think so pious a woman be secretly a devil's bitch after 70 years of such good prayer.
Aye, but the devil is a wily one, you cannot deny it. However, she is far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put some questions as to the Christian character of this house, if you'll permit me.
Why, we have no fear of questions, sir.
Good then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that you are rarely in the church on Sabbath day.
No. Sir, you are mistaken.
26 times in 17 months, sir. I must call that rare. But will you tell me why you were so absent?
Mr. Hale, I never knew I must account to that man for I go to church or stay at home. My wife was sick this winter.
So I am told, but you, mister, why could you not come alone?
I surely did come when I could, and when I could not, I prayed in this house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, sir. It does. And it tells me that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Since we built the church, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you know, and a sweeter hand never touched the metal. But Paris came, and for 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I labour the earth from dawn of day till blink of night, and I tell you true, sir, when I look to heaven and I see my money glaring at his elbow, it hurt my prayer, sir. It hurt my prayer. I think sometimes the man dreams cathedrals, not clapboard meeting houses.
And yet, Mr. A Christian on Sabbath day must be in church. Tell me, you have 3 children.
Aye, boys.
How comes it only 2 are baptized?
I like it not that Mr. Paris should lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man. I'll not conceal it.
I must say it, Mr. Proctor, that is not for you to decide. The man's ordained, therefore, the light of God is in him.
What is your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, I have no...
I nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door.
Oh, did you? That's a good sign, then.
It may be I have been too quick to bring the man to book, but you cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion. I think that's in your mind, is it not?
I have... There is a softness in your record, sir. A softness.
I think maybe we have been too hard with Mr. Paris. I think so. But sure, we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I am sure I do.
Let you repeat them, if you will.
The commandments.
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Thou shalt honour thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
You have said that twice, sir.
Aye.
adultery, John?
Aye. You see, sir, between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it'd be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house, mister.
I pray it. I pray it dearly. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
But Mr. Hale, I do think you are suspecting me somewhat. Are you not?
Goody Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
Oh, I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no witness and cannot prove it, except that my word be taken. But I know that children's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Naught to do with witchcraft.
Mr. Paris discovered them sporting in the woods. They were startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail.
Aye.
Abigail Williams told you it had naught to do with witchcraft.
She told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I never knew until tonight the town had gone daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense, mister. I have myself examined Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others that have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not, if they must hang for denying it? There are them that will swear to anything before they'll hang. Have you never thought of that?
I have. I have indeed. And you, would you testify to this in court?
I had not reckoned on going into court, but if I must, I would.
Do you falter here?
I falter nothing, mister. But I may wonder if my story be credited in such a court. I do wonder on it when such a steady-minded minister as you will suspicion such a woman that never lied, nor cannot, and the world knows she cannot. I may falter somewhat, mister. I am no fool.
Proctor, let you open with me now, for I have a rumour that troubles me. It is said you hold no belief that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true, sir?
I know not what I have said. I may have said it. I have wondered if there be witches in the world, although I cannot believe they come among us now.
Then you do not believe.
I have no knowledge of it. The Bible speaks of witches, and I will not deny them.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot!
Elizabeth, you bewilder him.
I cannot think the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hale, when she keeps an upright way, as I have. I am a good woman. I know it. And if you believe I may do only good work in the world and yet be secretly bound to Satan, then I must tell you, sir, I do not believe it.
But, woman, you do believe that there are witches
If
in
you think that I am one, then I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the gospel. The gospel.
She believe in the gospel, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
She do not mean to doubt the gospel. You cannot think it. This be a Christian house, sir. A Christian house.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and go you without fail each Sunday into Sabbath prayer, and keep a solemn, quiet way among you. I think that...
John.
Giles? What's the matter?
They take my wife. And there's Rebecca.
Rebecca's in the jail.
Aye. Cheever come and take her in his wagon. We've only now come from the jail. They'll not even let us in to see them.
They've surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Reverend Hale, can you not speak to the Deputy Governor? I'm sure he mistakes these people.
Wait, calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of the church, Mr. Hale. And Martha Corey. There cannot be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How's Rebecca charged, Mr. Nurse?
For murder, she's charged. With the marvellous and unnatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Believe me, Mr. Nurse, if Rebecca Nurse be tainted, then there's nothing left to stop the whole green world from burning. Let you rest upon the justice of the court. The court will send her home.
You cannot mean she will be tried in court.
Nurse, though our hearts break, we cannot flinch. These are new times, sir. There is a misty plot afoot, so subtle we should be criminal to cling to old respects and ancient friendships. I have seen too many frightful proofs in court. The devil is alive in Salem, and we dare not quail to follow wherever the accusing finger points.
But how may such a woman murder children?
Can't remember until an hour before the devil fell. God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she were reading books.
Mr. Corey, exactly what complaint were made on your wife?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charged her. You see, he bought a pig of my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and the pig died soon after, so he come dancing in for his money back, and my Martha, she says to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wit to feed a pig properly, you'll not live to own many. And now he goes to court and claims that from that day to the... he's not been able to keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched him with her books.
Good evening to you, Proctor.
Why, Mr. Cheever. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Hale.
I hope you're not come on business of the court.
I do, Proctor, aye. I'm clerk of the court now, you know.
It is a pity, Ezekiel, that an honest tailor might have gone to heaven, must burn in hell. You'll burn for this. You know it.
You know yourself I must do as I'm told. You surely know that, Giles.
Yeah.
And I'd as lief you'd not be sending me to hell. I like not the sound of it, I tell you. I like not the sound of it. Now, believe me, Proctor, how heavy be the law, all its tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
You said she were not charged.
I know nothing of it. When was she charged, Mr. Cheever?
I'm given 16 warrant tonight, sir, and she is one.
Who charged her?
Why, Abigail Williams charged her.
On what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bid me search your house. But I like not to search a house, so will you hand to me any puppets that your wife may keep here?
Puppets?
I've got no puppets. Not since I were a girl.
I spy a puppet, Goody Proctor.
Oh. Why, this is Mary's.
Would you please to give it to me?
Well, the court discovered a text in puppets now.
Do you keep any others in this house?
No, nor this one either till tonight. What signifies a puppet?
Why, a puppet. A puppet may signify. Now, woman, will you please to come with me?
She will not. Fetch Mary here.
Oh, no, I'm forbid to leave her from my sight.
You will leave her from your sight and from your mind. Fetch Mary, Elizabeth.
What signifies a puppet, Mr. Cheever?
Why, they say it may signify that she... Why, this...
What's there?
Why, it is a needle, Herrick! Herrick, it is a needle!
And what signifies a needle?
Why, this go hard for a Proctor, this... I had my doubts, Proctor, I had my doubts, but here's a calamity, you see it, sir. It is a needle!
Why, what meaning has it?
Like the girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner at Reverend Paris's house tonight, and my word no warning, she falls to the floor like a struck beast, he says, and screamed a scream that a bull would weep to hear. And he goes to save her and stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly
he'd draw a needle out and demanded of her how she come to be so stabbed. She'd testify it were your wife's familiar spirit pushed it in.
Why, she stuck it in herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof, mister.
It's hard proof. I have found here a puppet Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it, sir. And in the belly of the puppet a needle stuck. I tell you true, Proctor, I never warranted to see such proof of hell, and I bet you have stuck me now for...
Here, now, Mary, how did this puppet come into my house?
What puppet's that, sir?
This puppet! This puppet!
Why, I think it's mine.
It is your puppet, is it not?
It is, sir.
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in court, sir, and gave it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Warden, a needle hath been found inside this puppet.
Well, I meant no harm by it, sir.
You stuck that needle in yourself.
I believe I did.
What say you now, sir?
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory. May it be, perhaps, someone conjures you, even now, to say this?
Conjures me? Oh, I know, sir, I am entirely myself. I think... I'll let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court. Ask. Abby. Well, Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Let him be gone. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out, Mr. Hale.
What signifies a needle?
Mary, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder! I charge...
Abigail was stabbed tonight. A needle was found stuck into her belly.
And she charges me.
Aye.
What? The girl is murdered. She must be ripped out of the world!
You have heard that, sir! Ripped out of the world! Had it you heard? Proctor, you dare not touch the world!
Out with you!
You've ripped the Deputy Governor's woman!
Damn the Deputy Governor out of my house! Get
Proctor.
you gone with him. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is innocent, the court will...
She is innocent. Why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem, but now the little crazy children are jangling the keys of the kingdom and common vengeance like the law. This warrant is vengeance. I'll not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go.
I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me, John. I cannot budge.
Will you see her taken?
Proctor, the court is just.
Pontius Pilate. God will not let you wash your hands of this.
I think I must go with them. Mary, there is bread enough for the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as you were his daughter. You owe me that, and much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
I will bring you home. I will bring you soon.
Oh, John, bring me soon.
I will fall like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
I will. Fear nothing. Tell the children I have gone to visit someone sick.
Eric, don't chain her. Damn you, man. You will not chain her. I'll not have it. I'll not have her chained. I will pay you, Eric. I will surely pay you.
In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. Now, let you keep inside this house till I'm gone.
Mr. Proctor,
out of my sight.
Charity, Proctor Charity, what I have heard in her favour, I will not fear to testify in court. God help me. I cannot judge her guilty or innocent. I know not. Only this consider, the world goes mad, and it profit nothing you lay the cause to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hanging's promised man. We must look to cause proportionate. Were there murder done, perhaps, and never brought to light, abomination, some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven? Think on cause, man, and let you help me to discover it. For there's your way. Believe it. There is your only way when such confusion strikes upon the world. Let you counsel among yourselves. Think on your village and what may have drawn from heaven such thundering wrath upon you all. I shall pray God open up our eyes.
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
Leave me, Francis. Leave me.
Tell me, John, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it. We'll come early, eh?
Aye. Go now, Giles.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, it's very likely they'll let her come home once you've given proper evidence.
You are coming to the court with me, Mary. You will tell it in the court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell the court how that puppet come into this house and who stuck the needle in.
She will kill me for saying that. Abby will try to lecture on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you.
I have known it, sir. She will ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. We will slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
I cannot. She will turn on me.
My wife will never die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but the goodness will not die for me.
I cannot do it.
Make your peace with it. Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs, and all our old pretense is ripped away. Make your peace. Peace. It is a providence and no great change. We are only what we always were, but naked now. I, naked, and the wind, God's icy wind, will blow